Welcome to the channel, guys. This is Shaman TV, and if you already haven't guessed it, today I will be cooking it. And if you want to see how to make these amazing lamb sheekh kebabs, stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, before we get started, just a quick one on the choice of meat, and this is a hack of sorts. As you can see, I've opted for the Morrison's meat. Not because it's Morrison's, it's more to do with the packaging, guys. As you can see, this is almost the old style packaging now. A lot of supermarkets now have opted for the vacuum packed. As you can see, Sainsbury's and Aldi's go down this route. Unfortunately, this adds moisture to lamb for some reason, and we need to keep the moisture levels to a minimum. As you'll see further in the video, I'll go a bit further detail into this as we're progressing through the video, but wherever possible, guys, if you can't use a butcher, go for meat that's packaged like this. Okay, ladies and gents, in order to make the delicious lamb sheekh kebabs, you are going to need the following ingredients. First of all, a medium-sized onion. Now, I've seen recipes before, and what is a medium-sized onion? Well, I don't know if this gives you a decent video or a shot of it, but I would say a medium-sized onion is the size of a golf ball, a lime, or a squash ball. That's a medium-sized onion to me. One of them. You will also need 1 teaspoon of garlic paste and ginger paste. Now, this can be fresh garlic and or ginger, but as you can see, I'll be using the paste, which works perfectly well. I'll also be using 1 green chili. This is approximately 6 centimeters in length. Okay, guys, before we move on to our masala, I would like to have a little talk to you about general masala for Indian cooking, and what I would consider to be a core of masala that are needed for 90% of Indian cooking. If you have these masala, you'll be able to cook most things. And these consist of: first, we have salt, a staple in most homes. Shouldn't be a problem for anyone to get, but this is required in most Indian cooking. Then we have our garam masala and our coriander powder, also cumin powder and Kashmiri chili, red chili powder, turmeric powder, and kasuri methi, also known as dry fenugreek leaves. Now, most of this, guys, is now easily obtainable from most, if not all, supermarkets. Certainly get hold of this from your Indian supermarkets. The fenugreek leaves aside, these are staples, guys. If you have this in your cupboard, you'll be able to make the vast majority of Indian food. And our herbs and spices. Now, herbs and spices, ladies and gents, most if not everything on here can now be purchased from your supermarkets. So we have 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of garam masala, half a teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of red chilli powder, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of salt, although this is to taste. Myself and the family aren't really big salt eaters, so we're happy to have less. And finally, we have a teaspoon of paprika. Our final ingredient is the king of all herbs, coriander. This is essential, ladies and gents. Now, we do have fresh coriander. We do keep it in the fridge, but for this sort of thing, I would not advise using frozen coriander. But you can see there, that's approximately 10 grams, 15 grams of coriander there. Just give you an idea of concept, that's the coriander there in relation to the onion. So it's not loads of coriander. So I have peeled the onions and chopped them into quarters. Now we're going to chop them using a mini blender. Now, while doing this, I'm not going to chop them too fine straight away, as I will be adding other ingredients to it as well. As you can see, it's giving it a fine little pulse. Decently chopped there, not too small at present, but at this point I will now be adding the garlic and ginger paste. And this is not to chop the garlic and ginger paste or the onions any further. This is more so to mix it together. Just give it a little stir to make sure the onions don't stick to the side and they actually get mixed in as well. And now I'll be adding the chili. Again, you can see it's just a fine little pulse going on there. We're not over blitzing it. And now for the final ingredient, which is the coriander. Just going to add this into the blender and try and equally distribute it all the way around. And then again, this will be pulsed. Now this is why initially I did not chop the onions so fine, because by the time we've gone through the rest of the process, the onions are in fact now quite well chopped and fairly fine. Again, just taking everything down from the sides to make sure everything gets mixed in with each other. They're just pulsing it gently and shaking it off the sides. We don't want to over blitz it at this point. There we go. Nicely mixed in there. So as I spoke at the start of the video around our choice of lamb and the fact that we wanted to use lamb that contained as little moisture as possible, this stage now is vitally important now, because we've got our mixture ready. We've got the onions in there, which has got a high liquid content. Likewise, the garlic and ginger, and even the coriander leaves have a lot of moisture in there. So if we were to add this directly into our lamb now, it'd make it all very, very moist, which in turn would be very difficult for us to bind it into shape. And once it was cooked, the texture wouldn't be right and it would fall apart. On other videos I've seen on the internet, the people do have solutions to this, and these vary from using gram flour to using eggs or egg whites, or even adding fat at this stage. I find that's more so dealing with a problem as opposed to looking at the root cause. So what I have found works really well is I will squeeze the excess liquid out of the onions at this stage. This is obviously going to reduce the water content or the liquid content in our overall meat, making it far pleasing to eat and far easier to actually make. So what we'll do is we'll transfer all the contents of this onto a tea towel. And a word of advice on this, guys, do not use a new tea towel. This is a tea towel I've used over quite a long period of time now. The problem you'll find with this is it will absolutely stink of onions, and getting that smell out of there is very difficult. So unless you like the smell of raw onions with a note of garlic and ginger paste and a subtle tone of coriander, use an old tea towel, guys. And once you've used it, I would wash it separately as well. Otherwise, that smell will easily transfer to other clothes in the washing. So, guys, you can see we've got the onions in the tea towel now. Gather up the tea towel from the sides, go with the corners and the sides just to scoop it all up in there, making sure our mixture is in the middle. And I'm going to just transfer it over to the sink, and as you can see, literally taking it from there to here, the moisture is already coming through, giving you an idea of how much liquid is actually in there. Now, squeezing it out, you can just see the sheer volume, and this is just a medium onion, guys. So we're going to give it a good squeeze, get as much of it out of there as possible. You can see there what we've actually got rid of. Had we left that in there, that would have all ended up in our mixture. And there we have it, guys. That's our onions, free of as much moisture we could get out of there. And this will become apparent further on as the benefits to what we have just done. So all we're going to do now is we're going to add everything into the bowl in preparation for the mixing stage. So first I will take the lamb and we will add that to the bowl. So once the lamb has been added, we will now add our onion mixture, just getting it all in there. And finally, we will add our spices to the mix. Let's get it all in there. They can be wafted around. And so now we have all the elements in the bowl. We're going to start just by initially gently mixing everything through. The idea is just to gently start to mix things together, so as much as the masala and the onion mixture and the lamb just starts to mix in together, so we get a good spread throughout. And once we can see, yeah, we've got a good spread there, we can actually start to apply a little bit more force and a twisting motion just to start squeezing everything through there. And the idea of this is to get the masalas and the onions deep within the lamb. And as you can see, as I'm mixing, I'm also twisting to try and get as much of it even mix in there as possible. Gently applying a bit more force as I'm going through. So what you will notice as you continue to mix, that the mixture is already starting to bind. We still need to continue, as this does not have the consistency or the texture we still want. So at this point, we're going to keep continuing to mix as we are. And now what I'm going to do is actually start to knead it and apply more pressure so we can get that desired consistency. And what we're looking for is a consistency which is similar to pate. It needs to be nice and smooth and uniform throughout. Right, so I've continued to knead this for about 3-4 minutes. And when I think I'm done, I'll take a step back, maybe grab a drink, come back and give it another 30 seconds to a minute. But what we're looking for, guys, as you look on the bowl, is you can see the residue start to stick on the bowl. It's almost like a creamy residue. And also on my gloves, you can see that's almost like a lardy texture. That is, we've kneaded it enough now so the oil has started to come out of the minced lamb. And as you can see now, it's formed a pate. And when I just gently pat it together, it does start to shape a ball. And it's quite smooth on top. It might be sticky, but it's quite smooth on top. But there we can see it's got a bit of resistance to it. And it'll easily form a ball. This is the consistency we're after, guys. This is the stage we do not rush. We need to take the extra time to get this right, as this does dictate how our mixture will come out at the cooking stage. So I would not rush this, guys. Like I say, take a break, take a step back, come back and give it a bit more. As you can see, the mixture I've got there, it's nice and not dough-like, but it's quite sticky, but it's got that fine pate-like consistency now. Okay, guys, our mixture now is ready to be left to just sit there and allow the flavours to incorporate into the meat. Now, you'll see on other recipes, and I've done it myself as well, 2 hours is a decent amount of time for this. I, however, do prefer leaving it to rest overnight in the fridge. And we will find, you will find yourselves, that this allows all the flavours to incorporate with one another, and we will get the full taste when we're cooking. So there we have it, ladies and gents. It's all ready, all finished and ready to go in the fridge. All that's left to do now is to wrap it up and leave it, and we will come back tomorrow for the cooking stage. So welcome back, ladies and gents. Our lamb has now been, marinating is the wrong word, it's been left overnight in the fridge. It's had, I would say, 14 hours in there now, and it's ready to go on to the next stage. Oh, just get that little speck of dust out of the way. So let's have a look what we've got here. So as you can see, that has absorbed the flavours now. It's lost that pinky touch it had on there. It's got a deeper colour in there. Oh, we haven't got smell vision as usual, guys, but that does smell lovely. Just all the flavours in there. I'm getting the first thing I'm getting in there is the green chilies, and this is the benefit of using green chilies over just chili powder. Obviously, you get the spice. Unlike red chilies, I found with green chilies, it gives you that immediate blast to the mouth, but it doesn't linger. It wears off. Added to that, you have the texture of the green chili, but just the flavour. It really is a unique flavour. On top of there, we've got the coriander, the garlic, the ginger, the masalas. Smells absolutely amazing. So let's start to get ready. Now for this, there are different ways you can do this. I mean, you've got your traditional skewers, which clearly work. I mean, I generally use the skewers if I'm barbecuing. If it's going in the oven like it is today, unfortunately the weather gods aren't with us at the moment, so the weather's not what I was hoping it would have been. So this will just be going in the oven. So in that instance, I will do one with a skewer, just to show you. But generally when I'm putting it in the oven, it will just be rolled into like sausages, whatever size you want. So another little tip, guys, before you start handling the mince, give your hands a little bit of splash of water. You don't want your hands drenched in water, but you just want that coating on top of it. And today I'm not wearing gloves for this part because sometimes the bare hands are the best. So as you can see, I'm just obviously wash my hands previously and just splash of water on there to while we're handling the meat. So sort of bowl size I'm going to go for. It's like same as yesterday really with our medium sized onion. First of all, get it into a bowl like so, and take it onto your skewer. And what you're doing is you're going to fold it over as such, and then you can just squeeze it on. Shake into the shape. What I find is between your thumb and your index finger, and just squeeze it down. And that is a bit of a small kebab there, so we will get a big one. But I don't know if you can see on there, guys, but I can just feel in my hands now, it's just sticking together. It's nicely moulding in. The meat is taken. The little hack we used yesterday to squeeze the juice out of the onions, and also our choice of lamb, if you can see on there, guys, that is not going to fall apart. You can generally tell at this stage how old your lamb is because it will start to split. But that's sticking on there. It's not going anywhere, guys. If I was to put that in the tandoor, that would not go anywhere as well. And same principle now with the next bowl. That was a bit smaller bowl, so I'll go with the bigger one. Roll it up. And then just start to mould it into the shape I want. And the old rolling method always works. But you see there, guys, I'm rolling that now. And that is, it's all forming. See the little crack there? As soon as I push that in together, it's gone. That shows me now that these kebabs will cook really, really well. Really well once they come out. And for these now, I mean, you can have these any size, guys. If I'm cooking in the oven, depends how hungry the kids are. I'll make my kebabs that size. It's a good enough size. Again, once it's in there, you can mould it. I've made kebabs before where the liquid content was too much and they just fall apart. You can see there, guys, there's absolutely no problems with this whatsoever. And as I'm pulling it, as you pull it apart, you can see it's sort of stranded in there. You can see the strands coming apart. It's all joined with each other. There is a resistance there to when I'm pulling it apart. It's almost like a elasticity to the meat as well. That shows, once again, guys, that the method has worked. And just by looking at these and pulling them apart there, the flavours in there just look immense. And I'm not watered my hands again, which I should have done probably. You can see it's just sticking to my hands a bit now. Again, get the shape you want. I'm being quite rough with that. No need to be delicate with it. So I'll carry on with that, guys, and we'll get it ready to go in the oven. Here we go, guys. There they are, our amazing lamb Sheekh Kebabs. And you can see I've just, for that extra authentic taste, I have added a little hot plate to them on a bed of onions. And they have turned out amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of them, guys, just so you can see all the bits we did earlier on in terms of our minced choice and our squeezing of the onions, guys. I will just take one of the kebabs from there. I mean, they all look absolutely sensational. So guys, we will take one of our kebabs and you can just see how firm it is. It is very hot. I will attempt to break it. You see how flexible that is, guys? That is just not wanting to break. Look at that, guys. The flexibility in there, that's how well it's stuck together. And if it's just, sorry guys, it's just a very hot moment. I don't want to be burning my fingers. So if I get in there like that, guys, look at the inside of that, gents. Ladies and gents, how well it's bound together. Lovely, soft and tender. You can see that the juice is just flowing inside there, guys. You can see in there all our chili flakes, our corianders in there, and these have turned out amazing, guys. And I've not added at any point in here, guys. Relatively speaking, these are fat-free, or certainly as healthy as you can get them, guys. There were the 20% fat minced lamb, so it's reduced fat anyway. We've not added any fat in these guys. So relatively speaking, guys, it's just the minced lamb in there. And as you can see, they have turned out absolutely amazing, guys. I mean, you can see that consistency in there, how they're breaking apart. They are lovely and soft and tender inside, guys. The herbs and spices in there coming through amazingly. So, guys, give me your comments, please. Give me your feedback, because without you guys, this channel is really pointless, guys. So please let me know what you think. Try the recipe, let me know how you get on, guys. And as always, guys, very much appreciate it if you could like even, and subscribe to the channel. It does show me I'm reaching people out there, and people are certainly benefiting from these videos. Enjoy the lamb kebabs, guys. I do have another video coming up on chicken tikka wings, so stay tuned for that, guys. And as always, shaman it.